Yes. Hello, everybody. First, I want to say that I feel challenged to have to cut out 5 minutes from this presentation, but well, this conference and life itself is about adapting to changing rules, right? So I accept the challenge. I will try to skip the details of my presentation, and I will ask you to focus on the headlines of my slides. I won't be able to look at everything. Okay, our talk is about collaborative controlling and autonomous behaviors among stakeholders in a cooperative watershed management game. The authors are myself, Juana Cruz-Morales, who's here, Claudia, and Waterman, who's also here, Romeo, Trujillo, and we're from Mexico, from research centers in Mexico. So we are working we're doing participatory development of civil pastoral and agroforestry landscapes and livelihoods in the buffer zone of the Sepultura managed biosphere reserve in Chiapas. This work has to do, we have direct action, doing agroforestry work, environmental diagnosis, and well, the focus of our talk is we're doing companion modeling, which involves role-playing games and agent-based models with people, all stakeholders participating in this process. Now, as a spin-off of this process, or as something we did before getting a full-blown role-playing game, we developed in 2009 this game called Sierra Spring in interaction with the diversity of local and external stakeholders and researchers. It is a generic and stylized land use table board game aimed at increasing social actors and students' awareness about three things: the challenges of simultaneously making a rural livelihood and conserving forest, water resources in this area, the undesired externalities that emerge from individual decisions over land use rightly defended as private matter, and the effects of competition, cooperation, coordination, and leadership styles among stakeholders on achieving a number of goals. Now, the game itself has four modalities. Some are competitive, others are cooperative. We will be talking using the first cooperative mode, which is solving a collective puzzle. So in this game, there's a wooded locale of 48 sites, let's say 48 hectares, divided by 4 creeks into 4 quadrants. There are 4 players that seek to colonize it and make a living. So each needs to get 24 points. Each player is assigned a quadrant and 6 moderate grazing, and 6 intensive grazing tokens that have values of 3, 2, and 1 respectively. What are the rules of the game? In this mode, all players must achieve 24 points or nobody wins. Who colonizes a creek side owns it. These are like, any of these neighbors can take this one, any of these neighbors can take this one. F doesn't deforest the area, but M and I do, and no contiguous I tokens are allowed because of ecological reasons. Now, more than 32 total deforestations, or more than 2 deforestations around the spring, dry and everybody loses. And more than 2 deforestations on a creek, dry, and all M and I tokens are lost. The interesting thing to look at is that most local solutions that a single player could try to develop to get 24 points will block the global solution where everybody gets 24 points. And neighbor interactions and collective risks collective risk increases as the game unfolds. Now, in 2009-2010, we developed 13 workshops with a diversity of social settings, with a total of 44 groups playing levels 1 and level 2, which is the one I'm referring to, and a total of 176 players. Our main focus is working with multi-actor groups that have to do with this reserve. These 2 are in the reserve. And this one is a second reserve in Quintana Roo, the Yucatan Peninsula. But we have also been working with undergraduate tourism, cultural students, agroecology students from masters and PhDs from Mexico, Spain, the United States, rural development, researchers and students, Spanish environmental justice activists, and on the other opposite end of the spectrum, private elite international business. So, since the first workshops, we noticed that players trying to solve the collective puzzle in a limited time, 45 minutes, adopted 4 decision-making styles, we call them DMS, within their group. We used to call them pushes hard his opinions on how to collectively solve the puzzle and moves other tokens frequently. Number 1, suggests how to collectively solve the puzzle but do not impose. Number 2, follows passively 1 or 2. Number 3, or plays alone, tries to solve it his quadrant first, sometimes to suggest it as a model to others, but typically resists changing its local solution. Number 4. So groups within a workshop took very different time to solve the puzzle levels in this puzzle, and some were unable to meet the goal altogether. So we asked, how does this decision-making profile of the group emerge, and how does it relate to its performance? So, well, the protocol, experimental protocol, evolved as we understood the problem. But at the end, we had 4 players with 2 observers, and at the end of the game, immediately after, we would ask each player, in this case player 2, to fill in an anonymous questionnaire, where he would have to say, okay, player 1 most prevalent way of playing was pushes hard, suggests, follows, or plays alone. He would have to self-describe himself and describe others. If you multiply that 4 perceptions for players, you get 16 perceptions, which are 100% distributed in this. You get a specific distribution for each table board in a group of 4 players. If you take the whole workshop, which was made out of 4 groups, 16 people playing, then you get the workshop decision-making profile, and you get also the profile by the observers. Now, in each workshop, information from its 4 groups was processed immediately, presented anonymously to all workshop members, and discussed collectively. Overall, people were interested in the challenges of collectively deciding about specific strategies to accomplish a common goal that has already been approved. Individual versus group solving, and management, which is push hard, versus leadership, which is suggest styles. Now, these questions are not of interest only to these people. There are general questions. Even Bill Clinton is interested in this. He once said, running a country is a lot like running a cemetery. You've got a lot of people under you, but nobody's listening.